Thank you. I shouldn't have been here. My boss, Tori Soto, should have been here and had this speech, but unfortunately, we lost a lot of money in the late state's budget in Norway, and all our members, they lost all their millions of money, so she had to stay and take care of this business. Since I have been working with distance learning many years ago, she asked if I could do it, and this morning I've been working very hard, so this is what I'm going to present. Little about systems, a lot about online features, and a very little about learning. And a lot of the presenters here, they have said most of it already in other relations. But there are a few things that I would like to say. First, it is important with the system if you want qualification. In Norway, we have two systems. Norwegian NOKUT, that is a Norwegian national organization for quality in education. And they are looking at quality on foreign studies when students come home with an exam. They look upon qualities in new studies at universities and university college. And they also now have started a work on looking at quality in vocational schools and subjects there. So this is a good system for what's happening in an official school. Flexible education Norway, which I represent, the first member we have is 100 years this year, so it's 100 years since I started with what you call written letter studies. And we are having members, all these private net schools. And in Norway, it was these correspondence schools that actually first took internet and communication into our heart, because it made us more efficient and quicker in the response. And we didn't have to put the stamp on, so we saved money also. So we have kept on for a long time in online teaching. It's very cheap when you can put it on the net and you don't have to make books. We have made some norms for the branch, some standards. They are also in English. I have a few of them, which I'm leaving here if somebody wants it. And they are accepted not only by the private schools, but they are also accepted by all the universities that are members in our small organization. But I will say that half of the universities and half of the university colleges are members in our organization. We are right now reviewing these quality standards, so they are going to be better and bigger. Actually, they were really big before, but when you want to agree with universities and private schools, they have to be very, very, very tiny, so that we agreed. And when we first then agreed 5 years ago, now it's much easier to increase the quality standards because we actually are agreed now. I have mentioned the quality standards. Could you put up the net ladder guide on the corner, the yellow one? Yes, can you take up the, yeah. We have two of this. We have made some guidance for online teachers, which we think is very important, because in Norway, a lot of these online teachers are by themselves and they need some support. And we are also now start focuses on how to make courses and also how to be an online student, so there will be more papers. I'm just mentioning it because we have a lot of work on making these papers right now, and they are available on the net. The challenges are in teaching online is how to be a student, planning while teaching, guiding and support, and what are the relevant sources. These are made very quick. Okay, quality. It's a lot of things that you can try to make quality mark on and say that this makes quality, but after all, when you look at it, it's not so easy because it has to do with the teacher, the student, the school, and all the materials, and a lot of other, and also the subject in itself. So this R model, it is actually very good if you look at it and you start to look at one and one point, and you say that let's measure and find out this is a good course, or this is quality. All of these things can be better, so I will not, I will go on to the point that is most important maybe, and one of the other speakers here also mentioned it, that quality also is totally dependent on the contribution made by the learner, because nothing can actually happen if the learner are not contributing or willing. That makes me think about, I heard Subhata Mitra, a professor from England, he had a brilliant speech, and he talked about the magic question or the magic task. A good teacher, he knows exactly what he's going to trigger to make the student achieve something. So I think this is actually, if you want quality, you have to put a lot of effort in this magic task, the magic questions for the student. Who is the student? Actually, when we talk now about online studies, there are different people that want online studies than those who love to go to campus. And I think that suddenly we start to think, we make some courses, we make a MOOC, we make this. The most important is always to know who is the student, and actually do they want to do it this way. I think that I've been teaching for a few years in a normal school, in the official school in Norway, and everybody talks about the individual student, and we are trying to follow him up in his way. And then it's very difficult if we don't look at who is the student. Actually, I think it's an old man on a deserted island in the Pacific 3 weeks ago. I think he had a good time there, but there were no internet. But actually, it was possible to write on and use the computer, so I have some memories. The challenges is that how to teach a lot of students who don't have actually a close relationship, you don't know anything. They have problems, they can be blind. It can be a lot of different things with them. They have work, they cannot follow up in a normal speed. So actually I think this is an art to look into each one of these points. It is so much to say about it. So today I don't have time to, but it is very important. So the other thing, I will mention one thing about the online arena. It's important for the online teacher. Actually, it's important for all the quality. The quality for the student, the quality for teacher, and the quality for the organization. And actually also for the society, because it is not only to go and say that we want to use Fronter or It's Learning or another learning management system, because what do we really want to achieve? And each subject, each group has different demands. And I remember I was head of Norwegian distance learning unit in the military in 1995, and we started the first learning management system we built up. And then we had two things that was important that made quality, and that is automatically we get the statistics. Every day I could press one button and I had statistics of all courses, how many students have fulfilled, how many have started, how long time for each of the subjects. This was important, I thought, at that time for quality. After some years, I'm not quite sure that this was quality I was looking at, because it is a lot of examples that actually this doesn't matter, but the important is that it saved me a lot of time, so I could use time on other quality things. Well, the role as online teacher, I think I will mention a few points, and that is you cannot be a teacher without having been a student before. You have to have the experience as a student to be a good teacher. That's my best advice, because then you better can see all the challenges a student have, and then you are much better in rewriting or presenting that subject for the student if you have been a student yourself, because you don't have the time to let him ask you questions all the time. Well, different students needs different solutions, and this is actually a big challenge that I will talk about a good online teacher, and that is when you make a course. It is easier to have the students in the classroom because they can make variations from day to day, from subject to subject. But when you make a program online and you let the students go for it, the variety is not easy to have. Actually, it's more or less the same. And this is actually a big challenge, but the computer world, the information technology has made it possible for us. That the students, when he stops at one place, he can be taken back and given another lesson or test before he goes on. So actually there are possibilities much better than no. Quick response. I remember when we started this, the teachers, they were competing to give response very quickly. And some of the teachers, they are actually responding within an hour or two the same day. In the early days, we had at least 2 weeks when we used to post all around, and actually that worked also. So, well, it's important that students get a response, but I think that the most important is that you get connection between teacher and students, and the expectations are correct. A lot of teachers, they forget about giving the students a realistic way of looking at it, and he gets a response. You can't tell a student that I'm going on vacation, I will be away the next weekend, and then the student, he relaxes and he can wait for 3 days or 2 weeks. It is no problem. Or he will then be encouraged to make his task very quick, so he gets response earlier. But this is a good teacher. He looks upon this with a response, and he does not frustrate the student. Yeah. It's important to see the student, so I will only mention the important thing with a course. It It doesn't matter if it's online or a written course or anything. It's important that the students feel that the teacher is my teacher and he sees me all the time. And actually how this is done with the technology we have today. We have the phone, we have the net, we have Skype, we have everything, Facebook, all over. It's so many possibilities. They just have to find their way. So, I have to, this here is just beautiful. This is fantastic. And I remember in, I think it was 87, I was in Washington. In America, they had a system for qualification at schools and courses in distance learning. And the man leading it, he took me with him to when we were going to one of his schools that he was accrediting and giving a mark. And then the leader of the school, he came to me with not this, but a course. An engineer course. It was packed and it was so beautiful, like a Christmas present. And when he opened it to me, he said, if you are a student now and you get this in the post, I want you to be happy before you even open this package. And then he opened it and said, look here, he said, small steps are important. Small steps. The first way to communicate with the student, you must give him a pencil and a very little paper to write his name and his address and some small things and when will you start up. Very quick, and the envelope was ready, it was stamped, and you just put it in and send it. When he said this, I went home to Norway. I changed all the military packages with the red robe around, and they looked just like a Christmas present. It was fun. Well, I made it in green, but it was fun to see that, try to make students happy. Okay? It's a lot to think about before you start on a course. And this is for the teachers. Preparations, expectation, what to think about. Everything we have written in this nettlæring, so I don't have to say it. The small steps I mentioned, activities. That is where the good teacher came in. He looks at this book, he knows from his experience what is difficult, and he separated this in small parts. So this is how he can get the student easy to know, getting through the study easily. These are steps for the teachers. Important with the icebreaker to get in contact. You have to be a bridge builder. There are a lot of students that are difficult to communicate with, as other people also are. But it's very important for a teacher that you, in a way, can communicate with your students one by one, and they should feel you are the only teacher for them. Following up. Okay, this is in online teaching, you have to follow him up all the time. Suddenly you don't hear anything. How long should I wait? I should motivate and stimulate and slightly push him forward. This guy, well, he was not taking a course, I just used the picture. But he had to sit there for 3 hours to write a letter to his mom. Because when I was young, I thought that it was good to get a letter from your mom when you are in another country and you feel a bit alone. And so I pushed them to, the letter is important. Even though it was not education in this, but I think the students, they have a problem and actually you as a teacher and a guide, the counselor, you will have to follow them up. Take the phone, do anything. Responding, it's very strange. Still today, I can see that a lot of people are not using the technology. You have colors, you can put in a lot of stuff when you give response to your student. You can talk, you can send videos, you can do everything. So it's just to use the technology. And finally, you have to let the student work. We are not going to tell him, we are stimulating the student so the student will find the right answers. Evaluation at the end, that is one of the main points in online teaching and online studying. We need evaluation. The student wants it, the teacher needs it, and the organization should absolutely have it. And the evaluation must come immediately. Okay. Now, the role is more push, motivate, and use technology in the right way. That is the only point I wanted to mention. And actually, when you make the course, this is the final thing. So you have the web address if you want to take down some of our publications. I started, when the first time I made the course, I started like this. This is the road, here goes the student, and I made the course in the right way. Instead of thinking that actually this is a student, and the student goes like this, and at 19:30 he's going to eat at neighbors, and afterwards he's going to sleep, and then maybe he reads a little about the course here. But finally he gets an exam here. So the way for the student is actually paved with obstacles and problems, and our mind is not working like this main road. So the technology has opened my eyes that there is possibilities if you just think about all the opportunities technology gives us. Then we can actually meet the students in his difficult way. And we can end up there without having the break here or the stop in a course. So that was all I think I wanted to present very, very quickly. I hope I did not take too much time. That's it.